Okay, hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Mushida. I am the co-founder of Love and Respect Transform Holdings here in Kuala Lumpur. I am also have a business in Singapore. We have a one help one model. Every mentoring, coaching, and membership into our platform also contributes to the mindset and skill set of refugees here in Kuala Lumpur. So we believe that business is a channel for good and our profits is run with purpose. Okay. So today we have a very special guest. I'd love for all of you to meet her. And I've known her for quite some time right now, right,
Yes.
Marylen? Yeah, I'd like you all to meet Marylen Ramos Velasco. And she is the founder of Customized Training Solutions based in Singapore. Okay, so without further ado, I'd like to introduce Marylen and get to know her a little bit more. Okay, so Marylen, maybe you can explain to us and share with us why do you do what you do, why the company, and tell us about your journey generally.
Yay. Thank you so much, Murshida, for having me here. I'm super excited. And of course, good afternoon to everyone, at least from Asia. And again, good morning or good evening for those who are listening in other time zones, right? And yeah, to introduce myself or why we do what we do, right, in customized training solutions, I would probably cover 3 points. But the first one would be mainly on my experience to share with them to have a better understanding on why I actually started customized training solutions. Although I had the privilege of working with great leaders, amazing leaders who are now my friends. But of course, a lot of the things that we possibly do or we wanted to change are those things that, are negative based on our experience, right? So I had quite a number of negative experiences from some leaders. And perhaps I could highlight what happened to me 20 years ago where I found myself kind of clueless on what I want to do next because I love what I'm doing. I was a room sales manager in a hotel, and in fact, it's part of a big group of hotels. I would say, and I'm earning more than I need because I'm single and I'm the top producer. In fact, I'm actually friends with the paymaster, and he would always, "You're too much, Marylen." He would always say that to me. And I said, "What? What did I do wrong?" And then he would say, like, "You're earning more than your boss." So that's why I was really enjoying it. And I'm, on top of my career. And I was really young then. I was like, what, 20, in my 20s, early 20s. However, every time that, I'm doing a lot of things, I'm super busy and, I get a lot of commendations as well. However, my momentum usually gets distracted because my boss makes unnecessary comments or actions that is like not right. Like, if I have to give an example, for example, she would say that, "Oh, I don't think Marylen will get married at all." In a meeting, in a group meeting, huh? And or something that she would say that if I go home on time like 6 p.m., she would like say like, "Oh, you're on half day today." So the culture is really not so good. I would normally go home around 10 p.m., 12 midnight, or even 1 in the morning from starting working at 9 a.m. So from that experience, I realized that, what they said, I mean, we've heard it so many times that, great employees actually leave due to bad bosses, right? I'm sorry to say that, but it happens. I mean, it happens to, we experience that. So I believe that, as a leader, we drive a lot of our business, the direction. And of course, we work with people. And that is important. We are that, leaders are well trained. And then 15 years ago, having the same passion, dedication at work, despite of again the commendations, we still get complaints. And I would say that it has a lot to do with the poor mindset as well as lack of training of some employees as well. I was an events manager then. And then when I moved here in Singapore 10 years ago, I was so blessed to, get exposed, or got exposed with training, both as an organizer and as an attendee as well. And I get to speak with, several leaders from big companies around the globe. And I have noticed, that there are relevant interventions that can actually bridge competency, improve mindset, behaviors, and of course therefore creates more effective and efficient outcomes. And we know that exactly. I mean, we both are so addicted to investing in ourselves, right? We are in the same mentorship program. And so during that time I actually discovered, like, but there's also still a major problem in terms of how people are actually addressing some of these gaps, right? From when I started my business, some of them like, oh, how come we've actually, run that program, or we've already attended that program, and yet nothing is happening, or we're not getting any results, right? And and I found out that the reason why they're not able to address it is that, um first of all, they can't articulate what they need. They even don't know what the basics, I mean, like, what's the problem, what's the pain or challenges that they are facing. They don't really get into the root cause of the problem, and they always think that, or opt for quick fixes, I would say, like, canned programs, or like, oh, I think half day, 1 hour will be enough. And again, like what I would usually, joke with some of my clients, training is like taking a bath. You don't take a bath now and you expect to be smelling good in a month time, right? Maybe in a week time you're already so smelly, right? So that's the same with training. Mhm. Yeah, and so that is really, that's exactly why I decided to dedicate my life with customized training solutions, or CTS, to be able to create an impact to others, to my community. And I would say that this is a big word, that, I wanted to make a difference in the world, and I believe it's possible because, when we get to help others, leaders, especially leaders, I would say, to have that shift of mindset, then we get to have a better world, right? Because when you are better, you're thinking in a better way and all those stuff, your mindset, your behavior is better, then it affects you as a leader in your family, in your community, and therefore in the world. And so my second point is just to summarize, like, what I've learned in the last 20 over years, is that I believe that I found my ikigai with what I do right now. And for those who doesn't understand, who doesn't know ikigai, what ikigai means, it's basically I'm combining what I love to do, what I am good at, and at the same time what I can be paid for and what the world needs from me. So it's basically living my purpose, right? And so and definitely this is, I would say, my self, I mean my self goal, I would say, is that I wanted to leave a legacy, so that others, especially my children, I do have children, by, improving myself so I can be a good role model for them as well. That's my selfish um my selfish reason why I'm doing this business as well.
Wow, that is so amazing. And it's exactly why entrepreneurs like yourself get inspired to start doing what they do because of a problem that you see. There was that missing link that was not
Exactly.
addressed. And you
Mhm.
said, nobody's doing this. So
Mhm.
I'm going to do it. And that is what an entrepreneurial, enterprising person does when
Mhm.
they see a problem and then they say, oh, I want to create that solution.
Mhm.
And you are more than and above just the problem and a solution. You also have that legacy that you want to leave an impact behind in this world and also for your children. How many children do you have?
I have three. I have a teenager. just turned 15 recently. I have a 4-year-old and I have a 1-year-old. I
See?
covered all I covered all the critical stages of motherhood all at the same time while doing my business.
Teenagers, toddler.
Isn't
And
that amazing?
yes, exactly. Yay, everybody clap for Marylen. And you see, it's no excuse that a mom uh, with children, small children, like a baby, it's like still running a business, and it's also a B2B business. And we'll talk about more about this because I think
Mhm,
Marylen has also expanded beyond just B2B, and she is also going into B2C as well.
mhm.
Now, let's
Yes.
go back to the solution that you are providing,
Mhm,
right?
mhm,
And can you share with us what specifically you are helping people with, and
mhm.
what particular problem are you solving?
Mhm. So we actually started more towards technical programs in the past, where I have worked with a lot of oil and gas companies like Petronas, Shell, Chevron. And because the reason why I thought it's like a great entry for me is because like people are already looking for it and companies are prioritizing technical needs. But then more and more while I'm working with them, even I'm giving them like a lot of results out of the training programs that we run. And even though I get, positive feedbacks, testimonials and all those stuff, I still feel that there's something missing. And at the same time, I would always say that, what I hear in my past organizations I work with is that, okay, they're providing training and all the stuff, but they're not able to, customize it the way we do it in CTS, right? So that gave us more opportunity to actually like, fill that particular gap, as you say earlier. And now from usual, training, we actually wanted to really move towards consulting. I have actually one of my consultants working with me, and he keeps on telling me, don't waste your time with training, and he's keep on pushing me during that time. And I said, but I don't understand. I don't know what to do with consulting back then. And then I realized, in fact, I'm already doing consulting. Is that I'm just doing it a lot of times for free, unfortunately. So, but then I mean, fortunately and unfortunately, but I mean, it's I guess a learning journey that I have to take. So I mean, the reason why I said that we wanted to move to consulting is that because we wanted to create more opportunities to create more sustainable outcomes. Because I believe that yes, training is very important, learning is very important, but it doesn't have to be limited to that, right? Because my challenge as an external partner is that we don't really get to measure, monitor, and give that sustainability portion to them if we just do or just run a short training program. So we wanted to have more, interventions, because a lot of times, okay, in the training they would have the know-how or knowledge, but then the challenge is that the reason why it's not that effective because they don't implement it. And so there has to be sometimes a hand holding, I would say, where we as an external partner can still have the chance to monitor it, to measure the effectiveness of the program and co-create it. That's I believe the most important part is co-create and customize the program based on their priorities, their needs, and their goals. And with consulting, we can easily, create a more holistic, dynamic, transformational solutions, I would say. And, and part of that will be solving problems like mindset, heart set, on top of the usual skills and functional or core functional skills that they have to know. And, and to have that culture of learning and continuous improvement within the organization.
Oh, wonderful. I love that because, sometimes people say, "Oh, what training is good? What training is good?" And it's like, yes, all trainings are good. That 2 days or 1 day or laser sharp 3 hours of trading or talk, right? But
True.
how much is it that people really absorb and put it into practice? I would say
Exactly.
very, very low percentage. It's that
Mm-hmm.
consulting, that follow up, that guidance. I think that is exactly what will make it sustainable. And yeah,
Exactly.
I so agree with that. And who would best benefit from this, Maryland? Who are you serving?
We are serving leaders who are, I would say, continuous learners and action takers. And of course, since we started with leaders from multinational companies and conglomerates, so that's basically our main, client base. And but of course, during the pandemic, we also had the chance and the opportunity to be able to serve, some entrepreneurs as well as small and medium enterprise leaders in the organization. But the focus for our, like for example, our leadership and organizational development package, right? I would say the top leaders, meaning high potential or empowered leaders. And the second one would be the senior managers who are actually working on department based, since there are people or even leaders that are under them, and of course the C levels, because a lot of the directions and the business is being driven by them. So if you focus on that or on those levels, then it will be easier to actually bring it through towards the entire organization, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. I always believe culture comes from the top down, and if it doesn't come from the top down, it's and if the leadership is not conscious or not good, a good leadership,
True.
right? Then
Mhm.
there will be revolution, right? When when change is
Exactly.
starting from the bottom up, that is revolution. So it has to be from the top
Yes.
down for it to be healthy. So how do you help them?
So we help them transform and thrive, like what I've mentioned usually in my introduction, that in five P's, I would say. So because sometimes they would say you can't specialize in just one thing. I mean, you can't specialize in everything. You have to specialize in just one thing. But then um, to be able to really have that holistic dynamic and transformational, like I've mentioned that I wanted organizations to have, you can't just have one program to address everything, right? It's impossible. But then the good thing is, because I am so blessed that I have a lot of world class resources or experts that I work with in my pool. So they are still specialized based on their experience, their industry, and what they do best. However, what we do is we combine them to be able to address all the five P's, which are the people, the process, performance, productivity, and of course, profitability is the end result of all those, right? And it has to be co-created, because there has to be an ownership from those companies that we will work with. Because again, that's the reason why the results, you're missing out on the results, or you're not getting results, because you're not implementing it, or you're not you don't take ownership to this. So there has to be an alignment there, in terms of how we actually run the program. And that's how we can help leaders, in fact. So you know um there has to be empowerment for leaders. There has to be organizational alignment. There has to be they have to learn how to be more adaptive and flexible. And lastly, of course, to be able to drive those outcomes. Mm.
Wow, amazing. And I love what you said. It's actually, they have to take responsibility for the learning, right? In a nutshell, they
Exactly.
have to take responsibility. It's not about, oh, this thing doesn't work and all that, but are you taking responsibility
Mhm.
for the learning and the
Mhm.
knowledge that you have? And yeah, and it's, I love that topic that you do, and you call it, transformational leadership, because that's what leaders have to do now to be sustainable,
Exactly.
especially in this world that we have transformed into also.
Mhm.
So they have to be
True.
transformational as well. And so how do people get connected with you, Marilyn? Where are
There
you?
are
Where are you?
several ways. If I may actually share my presentation so they can have a better understanding or on what I mean by the and how we actually go through that process of transforming their leaders to create their future ready teams. If I can share that, that will be great. It's just a minute and 45 seconds. Can I share my screen?
Yes, you can. You can already.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, can you see my screen now? Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, this is basically the transformational leadership package that I was referring to. And of course, we have said that 38% of CEOs are actually believe that the issues are coming from the it's way too fast. Let me just stop it a bit, pause it a bit. So this is what we meant by the four pillars of future ready teams. So there has to be an empowered leader, organizational alignment, adaptability and agility, and driving outcomes as well. Um, and these are the key to growth, as we, if we have to identify it, of course, the right people, company culture, strategic plans, customer centricity, and execution excellence. Because I think a lot of the problems as well are being able to execute or implement the strategic plans that they have done uh, beforehand. So and then this is the core development programs that we are looking into, is starting from the mindset and heart set. Because if the mindset and heart set is not prepared, it's kind of difficult to shift or to train them on the rest of the skills. So there's leadership skills, and of course the core functional as well as continuous learning. So these are the I've actually paused the at the I'll be pausing probably 5 6 uh parts. So this is what we meant by the levels of leaders that we would like to focus on. Engage leaders, leading the function and leading the organization. So these are the top executives, and we've already discussed earlier what does it mean. And then so to give more example in terms of the mindset and heart set, this is where they can find that mindset, heart set, um, the leadership skills, core functional, and then the example of some of the programs that's part of it. Yes. And then this is the process that we're going through to help them. So from the problem, what's their willing to their current state, their commitment on what are they willing to invest. And when we say investment, of course, it's not only money but also the time that they're willing to spend, to be able to have that culture that they would want to have, right? Or that the transformation they want to have. And of course the development and delivery of the program, execution, and then monitoring to measure what to monitor, to integrate, to optimize that in their current functions. And lastly, of course, we wouldn't say that at the start it might be everything perfect. We have to might be able to need to review and refine that again, right? So basically, and what makes us different or this program unique, is that, of course, like I've mentioned, we have a diverse expert with proven, track records, and they have proven methodologies, as well as techniques. And of course, they've proven themselves because of the track records that they have. And then, of course, the transformational and the techniques as well. When we say transformational, of course, we're looking into different, because people has to have that balance, and humans has to have that integration in their life, right? And we have to make that or take that into consideration. And of course, customer centricity. I've made mention to you, I am like a hotelier by training and profession, and I've worked with like some of the biggest names in terms of the and so it's like bringing that 5-star or luxury hotel experience to training or consulting. And then, of course, we wanted it to be practical, co-created, and customized, to make sure it works well, and the rest is just testimonials we have received from satisfied customers that we have worked with in trainings and summits. And most of them are customized program with a few public runs, and some samples of case studies like this one, for long-term consulting projects with big names. You would see that there are big names here: Cargill, um, Philips, and all. And these are some of the experts that we are working with, to help us deliver those programs, or those coaching sessions, to ensure that it's gonna work for the customers, or there will be changes that's gonna happen in there, right? So, and this is your final question, where they can reach us. So I guess I would want to flash this. They can actually reach us at 65244973, or email us at enquiries@citysolutionsglobal.com. And if you'd like to see and find out more details about the leadership and OD package, they can see the link from the screen, as well as if they would like to schedule a free consulting call with us. They can schedule it through our website as well, under contact us.
Great. Leave that on for a while. Yeah, as
Mhm.
we just have a just want to do a little short um feedback from what I saw just now. Your clients are from mostly across Asia. I saw the different testimonials from different countries. Huh?
Oh,
So
yes,
yeah,
yes,
where are they normally
correct.
from?
A lot of my customers, I mean, obviously I'm a Filipino, so I do have a lot of clients from Philippines, and then Malaysia, and of course Singapore, since I'm based here. But we had the opportunity to serve over 3,000 leaders from 30 different countries in the past. Because of the COVID-19, it has actually increased tremendously. We were able to have like attendees from our master classes coming from Europe, from US, from other countries globally. So yes, it's a dream come true, because what we wanted, as our vision is to be one of the leading provider solutions provider globally.
Yeah.
So through these virtual sessions, we were able to have that opportunity to serve more countries in different parts of the world, even in Africa and all those stuff, which we um, haven't really had the chance to do. Some of our projects, or most of our projects, I would say, is around Southeast Asian region, although we've done one in China, I think 2 3 years ago. Yeah, and the attendees, and I'm also lucky that I work a lot with the holdings company.
Yeah.
So normally we would have like participants coming from different, like what you see here in the photo. These
Mhm.
are people coming from Australia, from Japan, from Vietnam, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, etc. So like in one run of our program, we like cover like maybe 7 countries or so, or 7 companies or so, for other runs.
Yeah, beautiful. Absolutely. I love this. And that's exactly what I agree with you, what you said. During this pandemic, we are actually it's borderless, right? Right now
Mhm.
it's like you don't,
True.
yeah, and training is like consulting, I would say. I think
Yes.
consulting would be very, very necessary, especially now where organizations do need to transit from 2019 to now and beyond. There's a lot of culture change, management,
Yes.
cultural
Mhm.
change that needs to be done, leadership that comes in, and also the kind of um, transformational leadership. Not, you can't lead the same way as before as well, right? So
Mhm.
these are all very relevant topics that you are doing.
Mhm.
Okay, can you I think that, can you close this? Are you okay with this, Sharon?
Yes.
All right. I want to talk about you now on your other things as well. Besides, you saw also an opportunity besides corporations. You also
Mhm.
saw, you also seen another group of people who would definitely benefit from your knowledge and your
Right.
experience. Tell me more about that.
Yes, because of this pandemic, it opened up some opportunities for us to organize some stuff. And, you're also my coach, and we've been working together, and we've actually realized a lot of things, to be more creative in terms of reaching out and helping more people, right? And so, because I've always been inclined to, women empowerment kind of stuff, and you've said like, oh, Marylen, you're so amazing with what you've been doing with all these events, with all this. In fact, I've been actually creating visibility for the trainers, consultants, and coaches that I have. It's just that I'm doing it for free. So like what my passion project is on top of the leadership and organizational development package I just shared is to be able to help entrepreneurs, small and medium owners, and probably still the trainers and consultants, coaches, especially mothers who would like to, have their business or do their business or work from home and all those stuff, right? So that I can help them on what can they do to be known or to get attention, and to help other people. Because I've been working with a lot of amazing consultants, trainers, coaches, I would say, but they don't know how to sell themselves. They don't know how to market themselves, and they're too amazing, and I guess that's the reason why I don't hesitate to help them. I mean, in terms of like selling them, because um I see their passion, I see their worth, I see how amazing they are, and I don't want to put it into waste. So if you're an entrepreneur, an SME owner, or if you're a trainer, consultant, coaches who would like to increase your visibility and know how to market yourself and be able to reach out to more people, to give your message to them, feel free to get in touch with us, to me, connect with me. We've actually shared a few. I am not sure if you have my links, or later we can probably share with them. We have our YouTube channel, we have our Facebook page, I have my LinkedIn profile as well, or our LinkedIn CTS page. So you can we will share that later on, so that you can get in touch with us to find out how we can help you.
Yeah, absolutely. We have the links. We'll put it in the comments and also in the YouTube and also at the exhibition booth at the comments page. We'll put that on there. Yeah. So this is yeah, this is great. This is great. And you're an example of a mother with three children who can create projects during the pandemic. And yeah, during the pandemic there was transition in how organizations are running and all that, and yet you were still visible, and that's where your message is out there. And like you mentioned also, I so agree, there's so many intelligent, wise people, but they are the internet's best kept secret. Nobody knows them, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So it is a shame that their wisdom is not shared with the rest
Mhm.
of the world. So yeah, get in touch with Marylen. Marylen will be able to assist you also to get your message out there through events and programs that she can support you with as well.
Mhm.
So with that, thank you so much, Marylen. Do you have anything else you
Yay.
want to share? Any last words for the audience?
I guess it's just about remembering that to invest in yourself for everyone, because that's something that you can't take away, that nobody can take away from you, I would say. And there's always a return of investment when you learn something, and don't be afraid to make mistakes, to have that failure, because from those mistakes, or bad experiences that you have, like what I've shared in my story with my bad experiences with leaders, I mean, that pushed me to like, oh, okay, this is something I would like to do and earn from. Right. And
Yeah. And you're
it's
probably making more than what the person your the last person was doing to you, right? Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, like when you're in business, there's more opportunities as well. Like, I mean, like what you've shared, and I've shared earlier, that I have like three children, and been doing the business, working from home for the last 7 years, working remotely even before COVID. So that's possible, right? But you have to start from somewhere. So I just wanted to inspire more people, or especially mothers, to speak up, to get your message out, and imagine if you can inspire just one person, or change the other, like one person's life. I think that's already enough, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. Yes, thank you so much, Marylen, and so
Thank
grateful to have
you.
your sharing. So everybody will be posting Marylen's contacts in the comments and in the chat. So do look out for her and do look at the programs that she runs. And if you know anyone who would also uh, be looking to be more visible and get a message out there, do connect directly with Marylen. Okay, so thank you so much,
Thank you so
Marylen.
much, Rashida, and thank you for those who are actually watching our interview.
Thank you.